It was supposed to be a perfect evening. David was cooking my favorite meal, lemon chicken with roasted vegetables. Our 8-year anniversary was tomorrow, but he'd wanted to celebrate tonight. Just us, he'd said that morning. No restaurants, no distractions. Home-cooked meal, good wine, and my beautiful wife. I loved him so much in moments like this, watching him move around our kitchen, humming off-key to some song only he could hear, completely focused on making everything perfect. This was David, thoughtful, devoted, the man I'd married 8 years ago and fallen more in love with every day since. "Babe, can you grab the wine from the fridge?" he called. "The Pinot Grigio." "On it," I said, getting up from the couch where I'd been reading. His phone buzzed on the coffee table. Once, twice, 3 times in quick succession. "Can you check that?" David called from the kitchen. "Might be work. If it's Steve, tell him I'll call him back tomorrow." I picked up his phone. David and I had never been secretive about phones. No passwords between us. Complete trust. That's what 8 years of solid marriage looked like. No jealousy, no suspicion, just trust. The screen showed 3 text messages from Melissa, my sister. I felt a small flutter of confusion. Why would Melissa be texting David? They got along fine. She was my younger sister. He was my husband. They'd known each other for almost a decade, but they didn't really text. Maybe birthday wishes, holiday greetings. That was it. I unlocked the phone, read the messages. Melissa, 6:43 p.m. I can't do this anymore. I can't keep pretending everything is fine. Melissa, 6:44 p.m. I need to tell you something. It's important. Melissa, 6:45 p.m. I can't abort it. What do we do? I stopped breathing, read the messages again. I can't abort it. What do we do? The baby, my sister was pregnant, and she was asking my husband, what do we do? Not, what should I do? Not, can you give me advice? But what do we do? Like it was his problem too, like it was his baby. The phone nearly slipped from my hands. I gripped it tighter, scrolled up through the message history. There were more messages, going back weeks. Melissa, 3 weeks ago. Can we talk? I need advice and I can't go to Sarah. David, of course. What's going on, Melissa? I'm in trouble, big trouble, and I don't know what to do. David, meet me for coffee tomorrow, noon at the usual place. Melissa, thank you. You're the only one I can talk to. The usual place? They had a usual place? I scrolled further. Melissa, 2 weeks ago. I took the test. It's positive. David, okay, deep breath. We'll figure this out. Melissa, I'm so scared. What if Sarah finds out? David, let's not worry about that yet. First things first. Do you want to keep it? Melissa, I don't know. I'm terrified either way. David, we'll talk through all the options. You're not alone in this. Not alone. We'll figure this out. We'll talk through options. My sister was pregnant with my husband's baby. My sister and my husband had been having an affair, and they'd been discussing whether to abort their child. I stood in my living room, David's phone in my shaking hands, listening to him hum in the kitchen while he cooked dinner for our anniversary, while he pretended everything was normal, while he lied to me. How long? How long had this been going on? When had it started? How many times had they... I couldn't finish the thought. Felt bile rising in my throat. My sister. The person I'd known my entire life. The person I'd protected, helped, supported. My baby sister who I'd practically raised after Mom died when Melissa was 12. And my husband, the man I'd vowed to spend my life with. The man who'd promised to forsake all others. The man who'd looked me in the eyes this morning and said, I love you more than anything. Both of them, together, behind my back, creating a child together. The phone buzzed again in my hand. New message from Melissa. Melissa, 6:47 p.m. Please answer. I really need to talk. I'm freaking out. The appointment is tomorrow and I don't think I can go through with it. Appointment? Abortion appointment? Tomorrow. My sister was scheduled to abort my husband's baby tomorrow, and I, the wife, the sister, had known nothing. Something cold settled over me. Something that wasn't quite rage yet. Something more calculating. I had two choices. One, scream. Confront David immediately. Demand answers. Explode this entire situation right now in our kitchen while he was cooking anniversary dinner. Two, set a trap. Let them reveal themselves. Make absolutely sure before I destroyed everything. The text was ambiguous. I can't abort it. What do we do? Could theoretically mean Melissa was asking David for advice about someone else's baby. Could mean she was asking her brother-in-law for guidance. But the message history. We'll figure this out. You're not alone. Meeting for coffee. Having a usual place. No. This was an affair. I knew it in my bones, but I needed them to show me, needed proof, needed to watch them squirm when caught. I made a decision, typed a reply pretending to be David. David, 6:48 p.m. Come over tonight. We need to talk in person. Sarah isn't home. She's visiting her friend Emma. We'll have privacy. Come at 7. Melissa's reply was almost immediate. Melissa, 6:48 p.m. Are you sure? What if she comes back early? David, 6:49 p.m. She won't. Emma lives an hour away. They're having dinner. She won't be back until 10. Come at 7, back door. Melissa, 6:49 p.m. Okay. I'm scared, but okay. Thank you for being here for me. David, 6:50. Always. I set the phone back on the coffee table, walked to the kitchen on shaking legs. David looked up from stirring something on the stove, smiled at me. That beautiful, genuine smile I'd fallen in love with. Who was it? He asked. Steve? Just spam, I said, voice remarkably steady. Nothing important. Wine? He asked, gesturing to the bottle I'd forgotten I was supposed to get. Actually, I said, I just remembered. I need to run to the pharmacy. I'm out of that thing, woman thing. I'll be quick. David's face showed concern. Want me to go? Dinner will be ready in 40 minutes. You could relax? No, I said. You're cooking. I'll be fast. 20 minutes tops. I grabbed my purse, my keys, walked to my car, sat in the driveway. I wasn't going to the pharmacy. I was going to park around the corner, wait 15 minutes, then sneak back into my own house through the front door that David wouldn't hear from the kitchen, hide in our bedroom, and wait for 7 p.m., wait for my sister to arrive at my house to meet with my husband while I was supposedly gone, wait to catch them together, wait for proof. The cold feeling settled deeper. This was going to hurt. This was going to destroy everything, my marriage, my family, my life. But I needed to know, needed to see, needed to understand exactly what I was dealing with before I decided how to burn it all down. I parked 3 blocks away, set a timer on my phone for 6:15, enough time for David to be completely absorbed in cooking, waited, watched the sun set, and prepared to catch my husband and sister in whatever they were about to do. The confrontation set up. At 6:15, I quietly let myself back into my house through the front door. David was in the kitchen with music playing. He couldn't hear me. I slipped off my shoes, moved silently down the hallway to our bedroom, closed the door until just a crack remained, enough to see the front door and living room, enough to hear everything. My heart was pounding so hard, I thought David might hear it from the kitchen. 6:30 p.m., David called out, "Babe, you back yet?" I didn't answer, held my breath. "Sarah?" Louder now, footsteps coming toward the front of the house. I pressed myself against the bedroom wall, out of sight through the crack in the door. David walked past, looked out the front window. Still gone. Must have stopped somewhere else. He went back to the kitchen. I exhaled slowly. 6:45 p.m. I texted Melissa again from David's phone. David, 6:45 p.m. Change of plans. Come to front door instead of back. Sarah just texted, she'll be even later. We have plenty of time. Melissa, 6:45 p.m. Okay, leaving now. Be there in 15 minutes. 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, my sister would ring my doorbell. My husband would open it, and I would emerge from the bedroom to confront them both. I checked my appearance in the bedroom mirror. Composed. Calm. I needed to see David's face when Melissa arrived. Needed to see his reaction, his guilt, his lies falling apart. 7:00 p.m. The doorbell rang. I heard David in the kitchen. What the hell? Who's that at this hour? Footsteps approaching the front door. Through the crack in the bedroom door, I watched him open it. Melissa stood on our doorstep, and she was pregnant. Visibly, obviously pregnant. Maybe 4 or 5 months. Enough that there was no hiding it. Enough that I could see the swell of her belly under her loose shirt. My baby sister was pregnant with my husband's child. The proof I'd been looking for. The confirmation of the worst possible betrayal. David's face went through a series of expressions in 3 seconds. Confusion, recognition, horror. Melissa, he said, voice shocked. What are you doing here? You told me to come, Melissa said, tears already streaming down her face. You said we needed to talk. You said Sarah wasn't home. You said... She stopped, looked past David into the house. Her eyes went wide because I was emerging from the bedroom, walking slowly toward them both. Calm, cold, furious. Hi, Melissa, I said, voice like ice. Surprise, I'm home. I've been home the whole time. David turned to me, face white. Sarah, what? Don't, I said, held up one hand. Don't say anything yet. Melissa, please come in. We all need to talk, don't we? Melissa looked between me and David, comprehension dawning. Sarah, you replied to my text? You pretended to be David? I did, I said, because my sister sent my husband a text saying, I can't abort it. What do we do? And I wanted to know what exactly you two needed to do about your baby. The baby you're clearly keeping since you're 5 months pregnant and didn't tell me. Your sister. So yes, I pretended. I set a trap. And here you are, both of you, about to explain to me what the fuck is going on. I never swore. David knew that. Melissa knew that. The fact that I'd just dropped an F-bomb told them exactly how far past normal I was. David recovered first. Sarah, this isn't... I said, don't. I interrupted. Not yet. Melissa, sit down. David, sit down. I'm going to pour myself a very large glass of wine, and then you're both going to explain to me calmly, completely, honestly, what the hell has been going on. And if either of you lies to me, if either of you tries to minimize or deflect or make excuses, I will walk out that door and you will never see me again. Am I clear? They both nodded, shell-shocked. Melissa sat on the couch, hands on her pregnant belly, crying quietly. David sat in the chair across from her, not next to her. I noticed that, noticed the distance, noticed he looked genuinely confused rather than guilty. I poured wine, a full glass, drank half of it standing at the kitchen counter. Then I walked back to the living room, stood in front of both of them. Explain, I said, now. The truth unravels. Melissa spoke first, voice shaking. Sarah, I don't understand what you think is happening, but I need you to know. David is not the father of this baby. I laughed. bitter, harsh sound. Really? That's your defense? Then why did you text my husband saying, "I can't abort it. What do we do?" Oh, why have you been texting him for weeks? Why do you have a usual place to meet? Why did he say, "We'll figure this out"? Explain that, Melissa. Because he's been helping me, Melissa burst out. I'm pregnant by Marcus, my ex-boyfriend Marcus, and I was terrified and I didn't know what to do, and I couldn't come to you because you judge me, Sarah. You always have. I stared at her. What? Marcus, Melissa repeated. Marcus Chen, the guy I dated for 6 months last year, the one you hated, the one you said was immature and irresponsible. Remember? I did remember. Marcus had been not great. Bartender, aspiring musician, lived in his friend's basement. I thought Melissa could do better, had maybe said that several times. You're pregnant by Marcus, I said slowly, not by David. Not by David, Melissa said, almost shouting now. Jesus, Sarah, he's your husband. He's my brother-in-law. He's been like an older brother to me for 8 years. How could you think, because you texted him, "What do we do?" I shouted back. Because you've been meeting him secretly. Because you said you couldn't tell me. What was I supposed to think? David stood up. Okay, everyone needs to calm down. Sarah, I need to explain. Melissa, let me explain. He looked at me, really looked at me. And for the first time since the doorbell rang, I saw not guilt but hurt in his eyes. 3 weeks ago, David said carefully, Melissa called me at work. She was crying. Wouldn't tell me why. Just said she needed to talk and she couldn't tell you. I met her for coffee. She told me she was pregnant. That Marcus, who'd broken up with her 2 months before, that was the father. That she'd just found out. That she didn't know what to do. That she was terrified. He paused. She asked me not to tell you. Said she needed time to figure things out first. Said you'd judge her, would lecture her, would say, "I told you so," about Marcus. And Sarah, she wasn't wrong. You would have? The words stung because they were true. I would have said I told you so. Would have pointed out that this was what happened when you dated irresponsible men. Would have, oh God. So I helped her, David continued, talked through her options, went with her to her first doctor's appointment because she was too scared to go alone, helped her figure out how to tell Marcus, helped her research what abortion would entail versus keeping the baby versus adoption. I was being her friend, her brother-in-law, someone she could talk to without judgment. He looked at Melissa, then back at me. I should have told you. I know that now. But she asked me not to, asked me to keep it confidential. And I thought I was helping by giving her space to figure things out before involving you. But the texts, I said weakly. You said, "We'll figure this out." You said she wasn't alone. Because she was alone, David said. Marcus wanted nothing to do with the baby, told her to handle it, and blocked her number. Her friends were all giving conflicting advice. Her dad, your dad, would have lost his mind. You would have judged her. She had no one. So yes, I said, "We'll figure this out," meaning I'd help her think through options. I said she wasn't alone, meaning I'd support her whatever she decided. As family, Sarah. As her sister's husband. Not as the father. Not as... He stopped. Not as someone having an affair. I looked at Melissa, at her tear-streaked face, at her pregnant belly. Is this true? Yes, Melissa whispered. All of it. Sarah, I would never. David is like my brother. The idea of... She shuddered. That's disgusting. He's your husband. I would never do that to you. Then why? I asked, voice breaking. Did your text say, "I can't abort it"? Not "I can't abort the baby," but "it." Like you were talking about David's baby, like it was his problem too. Melissa pulled out her phone, scrolled, showed me the screen. This is the full text I sent. Read it. I read. Melissa, 6:45 p.m. David, I have my abortion appointment tomorrow at 9 a.m. I've been trying to convince myself I can go through with it, that it's the right choice, that I'm not ready to be a mom, that Marcus doesn't want this and I can't do it alone. But I can't. I can't abort it. I can't end this pregnancy. Every time I think about it, I feel sick. What do we do? How do I tell everyone I'm keeping a baby whose father wants nothing to do with us? How do I face Sarah, who told me Marcus was a mistake? How do I do this? The full text, not I can't abort it. What do we do in isolation? But I can't abort it. Full explanation of why. What do we do? Meaning, how do I handle this situation? I'd only seen the last 3 messages on the lock screen, only seen the most incriminating lines, hadn't read the context, hadn't asked for context, had jumped to the worst possible conclusion. I sat down heavily. Oh my God. Yeah, Melissa said bitterly. Oh my God. You thought I was sleeping with David. You thought we were having an affair. You thought this, she gestured to her belly, was his baby. And instead of asking me, instead of talking to us, you set a trap. You tricked me into coming here. You hid and watched. I'm sorry, I whispered. I'm so sorry. I saw the texts and I assumed. You assumed the worst, David said quietly, of both of us, of me, your husband of 8 years who has never given you a single reason to doubt him, and of Melissa, your sister who you've known her entire life. You assumed we'd betray you in the worst possible way instead of asking a single question. He was right, completely right, and I felt sick. But I looked at Melissa. Why didn't you tell me? Why David instead of me? Melissa looked down at her hands. Because you scare me, Sarah. What? You scare me, Melissa repeated. You're perfect. You've always been perfect. Perfect grades, perfect job, perfect marriage, perfect life. And I'm the screw-up. The younger sister who can't get anything right, who dates the wrong guys, who makes bad choices, who gets pregnant by her loser ex-boyfriend at 28 and doesn't know what to do about it. She looked up at me. Every time I've come to you with a problem, you've lectured me, told me what I should have done differently, made me feel stupid for making mistakes. So when I got pregnant, when I was terrified and alone, I couldn't face that. Couldn't face you telling me I should have been more careful, should have chosen better, should have been more like you. The words hit like punches. Because she was right. I had done that, had lectured, had judged, had made her feel less than because I was so focused on being the responsible older sister that I'd forgotten to just be her sister. David doesn't do that, Melissa continued. David listens. David asks what I need instead of telling me what I should do. David treats me like an adult capable of making my own choices instead of a child who needs correction. So yes, I went to him instead of you, and I'm sorry that made you suspicious. I'm sorry I didn't tell you, but I was scared, Sarah. Scared of your judgment, scared of your disappointment, scared of being the screw-up little sister again. I started crying. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Melissa. I didn't know I was making you feel that way. I thought I was helping. Thought I was being supportive by giving advice. You were being controlling, Melissa said bluntly, and judgmental, and it pushed me away for years. This pregnancy just made it obvious. David sat back down, looked at both of us. Okay, cards on the table time. Sarah, you screwed up. You didn't trust me. You set a trap instead of communicating. That hurt. A lot. We're going to need to talk about that. about why you jumped to cheating instead of asking me directly. He turned to Melissa. And Melissa, you screwed up too. You asked me to keep secrets from my wife, put me in an impossible position, made me choose between helping you and being transparent with Sarah. That wasn't fair. Then back to me. And Sarah, you need to examine why you're so controlling with Melissa, why you can't just support her without lecturing. That's something you need to work on. He looked at all of us. This whole situation is a mess, but it's a mess that can be fixed if we all commit to actual honesty, actual communication, actually trusting each other. Can we do that? Silence. Then Melissa said quietly, I need help with the baby, with figuring out my life. I can't do this alone, and Marcus is useless. I need family. I need my sister, even if she drives me crazy sometimes. She looked at me. Can you be my sister without being my parent? Can you support me without judging? Can you help me through this pregnancy without making me feel like an idiot for getting pregnant in the first place? Could I? I didn't know, but I had to try. Yes, I said. I'll try. I'll really try, Melissa. I'm sorry I made you feel like you couldn't come to me. That's on me. That's my failure, and I want to fix it. I looked at David, and I'm sorry I didn't trust you. You're right. 8 years. I should have asked instead of assuming. I should have given you the benefit of the doubt. I'm sorry. David nodded slowly. We'll work through it. But Sarah, this is serious. The fact that your first thought was affair instead of asking me directly, that's something we need to address, maybe with a therapist, because that kind of mistrust can't exist in a marriage. He was right. Again. And I knew it. The three of us sat in my living room. The anniversary dinner David had been cooking was probably burning in the kitchen. The perfect evening was destroyed. The trap-eyed set had caught nothing except my own failures as a sister and wife. But maybe we could rebuild from this. Maybe this disaster could become something better, something more honest. If we were willing to do the work, if we were willing to actually communicate instead of assume, instead of judge, instead of hide. So, David said after a long silence, Melissa, you're keeping the baby. Yes, Melissa said. I can't go through with abortion. Every cell in my body is saying, keep this baby. Even if I'm terrified, even if Marcus is gone, even if I have no idea how to be a mom, I'm keeping it. Okay, David said. Then let's figure out practical steps. Where are you living? What's your financial situation? What's your plan for after the baby comes? And just like that, we shifted from confrontation to problem solving, from assumptions to actual communication. It was a start. The real issues we talked for 3 hours that night. The anniversary dinner burned. None of us cared. Melissa laid out her situation. She was living in a tiny studio apartment. Rent, $1,200 a month. Job, freelance graphic designer. Income inconsistent, maybe $2,500 a month average. Savings, $3,000. Baby due in 4 months. Plan, non-existent. Marcus knows, she said. I told him 2 weeks after I found out. He said, her voice broke. He said, that's not my problem, handle it. Then he blocked me on everything, phone, social media, everything. What an asshole, I said. David shot me a look. What? He is. Agreed, David said. But that's not helpful right now. Melissa, have you talked to a lawyer about child support? About establishing paternity? I can't afford a lawyer, Melissa said. And Marcus doesn't have money anyway. He works part-time at a bar, lives in his friend's basement. What would I even get from him? $100 a month, and it's not worth the fight. It's about principle, David said, and accountability. He helped create this baby. He has legal obligations, whether he wants them or not. David's right, I said. Felt weird agreeing after the disaster of the past few hours. But first things first, Melissa, you can't raise a baby in a studio apartment. You need space. You need help. She needs to move in with us, David said. I stared at him. He looked back calmly. What? I said. She moves in here. We have a spare bedroom. It's not being used. She's family. She needs help. We help her. Simple. David, that's a huge commitment. Having someone live with us, having a baby in the house, that's what family does, David said. You asked why Melissa didn't come to you. This is part of why. Because you overthink. You worry about convenience. You make practical objections when someone needs help. Melissa needs a safe place to live while she's pregnant, and for the first few months after the baby comes. We have a safe place, so she moves in. Unless you're going to tell me you'd rather your pregnant sister struggle alone in a studio apartment. Put that way, it sounded terrible, like I was refusing to help my own sister. I'm not saying no, I said carefully. I'm just processing. This morning I thought you were having an affair with her. Now you're suggesting she moves in with us. That's a big shift. Life shifts fast, David said. That's what tonight taught us. You thought the worst. Reality was different. Now we adapt. We help family. We do the right thing. Can you do that, Sarah? Could I? Could I live with my sister, watch her pregnancy progress, help her through sleepless nights with a newborn, give up privacy and routine and couple time? I looked at Melissa, at her hopeful, terrified face, at her hand on her belly, at my sister who needed me. Yes, I said. Move in. The spare bedroom is yours. We'll figure it out together. Melissa started crying again. Really? You'd do that? After tonight? After everything? You're my sister, I said simply. I haven't been a great sister lately. I've been judgmental and controlling and made you feel like you couldn't talk to me. But I'm going to change that. Starting now, you need help. We're helping. That's what family does. David smiled, first genuine smile of the night. Good, that's settled. Melissa moves in this weekend. We'll clear out the spare room, set up a nursery eventually, figure out the rest as we go. There's one condition, I said. Both of them looked at me. Family therapy, all three of us, weekly. We clearly have communication issues, trust issues, boundary issues. We need professional help working through them. If we're going to live together, if we're going to support you through this pregnancy and after, we need to be healthy about it. Agreed? Melissa nodded immediately. Agreed. I need therapy anyway. Pregnant by ex-boyfriend who wants nothing to do with me? Yeah, I have issues to work through. Me too, David said. The fact that my wife thought I was capable of affair with her sister? We need to unpack that. Figure out where that mistrust came from. Fix it. He looked at me. Because Sarah, if we're going to survive this our marriage, we need to address what happened tonight. You set a trap. You didn't trust me. That can't happen again. I know, I said. I'm sorry. And yes, therapy, for all of us. The next few months were intense, chaotic, hard. Melissa moved in that weekend. We cleared the spare bedroom, which had been storage for years, made it livable, made it hers, started therapy the following week. Dr. Patricia Hammond, family therapist recommended by our insurance. First session was brutal. Sarah, Dr. Hammond said, walk me through your thought process when you saw that text. What made you jump to affair instead of asking David directly? I thought about it, really thought. I've always felt like I wasn't enough, like David settled for me. Melissa is younger, prettier, more fun, more spontaneous, everything I'm not. So when I saw that text, it confirmed my deepest fear. that David would prefer her, that I'm boring and she's exciting, and of course he'd want her instead. Saying it out loud made me cry, made me see how ridiculous it was, but also how real the fear had been. "David," Dr. Hammond said, "did you know Sarah felt this way?" "No," David said, looked shocked. "Sarah, you're beautiful. You're brilliant. You're the person I chose. I've never looked at Melissa that way, never even thought about her that way. She's my sister-in-law. That's it." "But she's objectively prettier," I started. "Beauty isn't objective," David interrupted. "And even if it was, I'm not attracted to her. I'm attracted to you, your intelligence, your kindness, your strength. The fact that you're not spontaneous chaos like Melissa, no offense. Melissa." "None taken," Melissa said. "I am chaos. That stability is what I love," David continued. "That's what drew me to you. That's what I need. Not drama, not unpredictability, but you, steady, smart, Sarah." I cried harder. Dr. Hammond passed tissues. "Sarah," she said gently, "you have significant insecurity about your worth, about your relationship. That's work we need to do, because healthy marriages can't survive constant suspicion, constant fear of betrayal. Can you commit to working on this?" "Yes," I whispered. "I don't want to lose David because I'm too insecure to trust him. I don't want to be that person." "Good. We'll work on it." Then she turned to Melissa. "And you, why did you ask David to keep secrets from Sarah? You put him in an impossible position." "Because Sarah terrifies me," Melissa said, still brutally honest. "She's been my parent since Mom died. I was 12. She was 16. Dad worked constantly. Sarah raised me, fed me, helped with homework, went to parent-teacher conferences. She parented me, and I love her for it. But I resent it, because she's my sister, not my mom, and I want her to treat me like an equal, like an adult, not like a child who needs constant correction." She looked at me. "I know you love me. I know everything you did came from love. But Sarah, I need you to let me make my own mistakes. Let me be an adult who makes bad choices sometimes. Support me without judgment. Can you do that?" "I'll try," I said. "I really will try, Melissa. It's hard because I spent so many years worrying about you, making sure you were okay. It's become automatic. But I hear you. You're 28, an adult. I need to treat you like one." "Yes," Melissa said. "You do." Therapy continued, week after week, unpacking decades of family dynamics, insecurity, control, resentment, slowly, painfully making progress. Meanwhile, life happened. Melissa's pregnancy progressed. We went to doctor appointments together, set up the nursery, bought baby supplies, 3 women preparing for a baby that would change all our lives. Marcus resurfaced briefly, showed up drunk at our house demanding to see Melissa. David handled it firmly, told Marcus to leave, called police when he wouldn't, got restraining order when Marcus came back twice more. We hired a lawyer, established paternity, filed for child support. Marcus fought it, lost, was ordered to pay $200 a month, never paid, ended up with wage garnishment, still barely paid because his wages were inconsistent. But Melissa had us, had family, had support. Month 5, Melissa found out the baby was a boy. Oliver, she decided. I'm naming him Oliver. That's beautiful, I said. Month 6, Melissa had a breakdown. I don't know how to be a mom. I don't know what I'm doing. What if I screw this up? What if I'm terrible at it? You'll figure it out, I said, and you'll have help. You have us. Month 7. David and I celebrated our actual anniversary, 3 months late. Quiet dinner at home. No fancy cooking, just takeout and wine and honest conversation. Do you forgive me? I asked. For not trusting you? For the trap? I'm working on it, David said honestly. Therapy is helping. I understand why you reacted that way now. Your insecurity, your fear. But Sarah, you hurt me deeply, and it'll take time to fully trust that you won't do something like that again. I won't, I promised. I'm working on it, on trusting, on communicating instead of assuming, on being a better wife. You're already a better wife, David said. Because you're trying, that's what matters. Month 8, Melissa started nesting, obsessively cleaning her room, washing baby clothes 17 times, panicking about every tiny detail. This is normal, I reassured her. You're about to become a mom. You're allowed to panic. Are you sure I can do this? Melissa asked for the 100th time. Positive, I said. And if you can't, we're here. We'll help. You're not alone. Month 9. Oliver was born March 15th. 7 pounds, 3 ounces. Healthy. Perfect. Melissa held him for the first time and sobbed. He's mine. He's really mine. I made a person. You did, I said, also crying. You made a beautiful person. David and I were in the delivery room. Melissa had asked us to be there, had wanted family, had wanted support. When Oliver cried for the first time, David grabbed my hand, squeezed. We're uncles, he whispered. Aunt and uncle. We're family, I corrected. Real family. Messy, complicated, real family. Lushnam Santas. After. The first 3 months with newborn Oliver were chaos. Beautiful, exhausting chaos. Melissa was up all night. David and I took shifts helping one of us would take Oliver for a few hours so Melissa could sleep. We became a team, a family unit functioning together. I learned to step back, to let Melissa make decisions about her baby, to offer suggestions instead of orders, to ask, do you want advice? Instead of automatically giving it. It was hard. Years of being the controlling older sister didn't disappear overnight. But I was trying, really trying. And Melissa was thriving, despite exhaustion, despite single motherhood, despite everything. She was a good mom, natural, loving, patient in ways I'd never seen her be before. Motherhood changed me, she told me one night. We were both up at 3 a.m., her feeding Oliver, me keeping her company. I have to be responsible now, have to think about someone other than myself, and it's good. It's hard, but good. You're doing amazing, I said. Meant it. You think so? Melissa asked, vulnerable, needing reassurance. I know so. Oliver is lucky to have you. We're all lucky to have you. Month 4 after Oliver's birth, Marcus showed up again, this time sober, asking to see his son. No, Melissa said through the closed door. Restraining order still in effect. You had 9 months to step up. You chose not to. You don't get to decide now that you want to play dad. He's my son, Marcus started. You said he wasn't your problem, David called from behind Melissa. You blocked her. You've paid maybe $400 in child support total. You've done nothing. Leave now, or we call police. Marcus left. Came back the next week with his mother. Please, she begged, let my grandson know his father. Marcus made mistakes, but he wants to try. Then he can go to court, I said. Stood with Melissa and David, united front. He can file for supervised visitation. He can pay his child support. He can prove he's changed, but he doesn't get to show up at our door demanding access after abandoning Melissa for 9 months. That's not how this works. Marcus's mother left. Marcus filed for visitation. Judge granted supervised visits 1 hour, twice a month, supervised by professional monitor. Marcus showed up to 3 out of 8 visits in the first 4 months, then stopped coming entirely. Good riddance, Melissa said. Oliver deserves better than a father who can't be bothered to show up. Month 6 after birth, Melissa got a job offer. full-time graphic designer at a marketing firm. Good salary, benefits, career. I should take it, she said. But that means daycare for Oliver, means being away from him 40 hours a week. I don't know if I can do that. You can, I said, and we'll help. I work from home 2 days a week. I can watch Oliver those days. David's schedule is flexible. We'll figure it out. You'd do that? Melissa asked. Watch Oliver while I work? Of course. He's family, your family. We take care of each other. Melissa took the job, started building her career, started being self-sufficient, started being the adult she'd always wanted to be. 1 year after Oliver's birth, we had a small celebration, just us 3 adults and Oliver. Remember this day last year, Melissa said. You thought David and I were having an affair. I showed up pregnant at your door. Everything exploded. I prefer not to remember, I said, but I was smiling. I think we should remember, David said, because that disaster forced us to be honest, forced us to communicate, forced us to actually fix what was broken. We're better now than we were before, all of us. He was right. We were better. Sarah and David's marriage was stronger. We'd done the therapy work, addressed the trust issues, learned to communicate instead of assume. We're happy in ways we hadn't been before. Sarah and Melissa's relationship was transformed. No more parent-child dynamic, no more judgment, actual sisters, actual friends, actual equals. And Oliver had 3 parents. Melissa, obviously, but also Sarah and David, who loved him and raised him and cared for him like their own. Marcus doesn't know what he's missing, Melissa said, watching Oliver toddle around the living room. His loss, David said, our gain. 2 years after the text, Melissa moved out, got her own apartment, 2 bedrooms, 1 for her, 1 for Oliver, close by, 10 minutes away. But her place, her independence, her life. I'm ready, she told us, ready to be on my own, ready to do this solo, but I couldn't have gotten here without you, without living here, without your support. We're always here, I said, 10 minutes away, anytime, any reason. I know, Melissa said. That's why I can leave, because I'm not actually leaving, just expanding, growing, being an adult. She smiled. The adult you always wanted me to be. The adult you always were, I corrected. I just couldn't see it, couldn't let you be it. I'm sorry that took me so long to understand. I forgive you, Melissa said, simply, honestly. You're my sister. I love you, even when you drive me crazy. Same, I said, even when you drive me crazy. Present day, Sunday dinners are tradition now, every week. Melissa and Oliver come over. We cook together, eat together, our family together. Sometimes Marcus's mother asks to see Oliver. Sometimes Melissa says, yes, supervised visits with grandmother only, never Marcus. Sometimes she says no, it's her choice. We support whatever she decides. Oliver calls me Aunt Sarah and David Uncle David. But really, we're more than that. We're the parents who showed up, who helped, who stayed. Tonight's Sunday dinner, Melissa brings her new boyfriend. This is James, she introduces nervously. He's special. I wanted you to meet him. James is nice, stable, has a real job, treats Melissa well, loves Oliver. He's good, I whisper to David while Melissa and James play with Oliver. He is, David agrees. She chose well this time. She's grown up, I say, become someone amazing. She always was, David says. You just couldn't see it. He's right. Again. Always right. After dinner, as everyone's leaving, Melissa pulls me aside. Remember that text message? She asks. The one that started everything? Hard to forget, I say. I'm glad it happened, Melissa says. I'm glad you thought the worst. I'm glad everything exploded. because it forced us to finally be honest, finally talk, finally fix what was broken. We wouldn't be here, this healthy, this close, if that disaster hadn't happened. She hugs me. So thank you for thinking I was sleeping with David, for setting a trap, for making everything explode. Best disaster of my life. I laugh, actually laugh. You're welcome. Want me to accuse you of more affairs? Keep the growth going? God, no, Melissa says. One family crisis is enough. Let's just be boring and stable for a while. Deal, I say. That night, lying in bed with David, I think about everything that's happened. The text message, the trap, the confrontation, the truth, the therapy, the growth, the family we've become. Do you ever think about that night? I asked David. The anniversary dinner that burned? All the time, David says, not because it was traumatic, but because it was important. It was the night we stopped pretending everything was fine and started actually fixing what was broken. We're good now, I say, right? We're okay? We're better than okay, David says. We're honest. We're communicating. We're trusting. That's more valuable than pretending to be perfect. He's right. We're not perfect. Melissa still makes impulsive choices sometimes. I still have to bite my tongue to avoid lecturing. David still has moments where he's hurt by the memory of me not trusting him. But we're real. We're honest. We're family in the truest sense. And it all started with a text message I misunderstood. A trap I set that caught nothing except my own failures. A disaster that became the best thing that ever happened to us.